Good morning, everyone. Good morning, grade 5 learners. Welcome to your mathematics class. I am teacher Carmela, your mathematics teacher in grade 5. And I will be with you as we make the most out of our discussion this morning. Dear learners, are you ready for the next exciting and fun learning in mathematics? Make sure that you are in a comfortable place so that you can listen properly and attentively for today's episode. Okay then, please prepare your pencil or ball pen, your paper or notebook, and of course, your learner's material, the 21st Century Mathlets 5. And also, don't forget to bring your water bottle beside you to be hydrated. Let's begin. Our lesson today is about solving routine and non-routine word problems involving percentage using appropriate strategies and tools. Are you ready? Last time, we talked about finding the percentage in a given problem. Here is my question. What is the formula in finding the percentage in a given problem? Can you recall? If your answer is P equals R times B, great! You are correct. Where P is the percentage, R is the rate, and B is the base. Now let's have a 3-item review activity. In this activity, all you have to do is to listen to every question carefully. Choose your answer and write it on your answer sheets. Are you ready? For number 1, what is 50% of 90? Again, what is 50% of 90? A. 45, B. 15. I will give you 5 seconds to answer. If your answer is letter A, then you are right. 50% of 90 is 45. For number 2, what is 75% of 60? Again, what is 75% of 60? A. 30, B. 45. I will give you 5 seconds to answer. If your answer is letter B, then you are right. 75% of 60 is 45. Let's have number 3. What is 60% of 50? Again, what is 60% of 50? A. 25, B. 30. I will give you 5 seconds to answer. For number 3, if your answer is letter B, then you are right. 60% of 50 is 30. Great job, grade 5 learners. You really mastered your lesson in finding the percentage of a given number or problem. Again, great job, grade 5 learners. Now let's begin with our new lesson. Let's read the first word problem. Example number 1. In a certain barangay, there are 12,000 election volunteers. Due to the tedious task given to them, 30% were not able to vote. How many of the volunteers were not able to vote? To solve the problem, we can categorize it into two basic types, routine and non-routine. The purpose and the strategies used in solving problems are different from each type. What do we mean by routine and non-routine problems? Routine problem is a type of problem in which there is an immediate solution. On the other hand, non-routine problem is a problem that requires analysis and insights into known principles of mathematics. In order to solve routine and non-routine word problems, do you still remember the acronym U, P, S, and C? For step 1, U stands for understand. Under this, you have to answer the questions. What is asked in the problem? What are the given facts? What is the hidden question, if there is? Step 2, P. P is for plan. Make a plan. Under this, you have to answer the questions. What strategy can you use to solve the problem? What is the number sentence or formula you can use to find the answer? Step 3, S. S stands for solve. This time, you will carry out your plan. Using the formula, solve the problem. This will show your solution to the problem. And finally, step 4, C for check. Check if your answer is correct. Again, always remember the acronym UPSC. Understand, plan, solve, and check. Now, let's apply these rules. Going back to our problem, which is an example of a routine problem, let's analyze and then solve. I will guide you through. Let us read the word problem again. In a certain barangay, there are 12,000 election volunteers. Due to the tedious task given to some of them, 30% of them were not able to vote. How many of the volunteers were not able to vote? Step 1, understand what is asked in the problem. If your answer is the number of volunteers who were not able to vote, you are correct. Next question will be, what are the given facts? The given facts based on the word problem are 12,000 election volunteers and 30%. Step number 2, make a plan. Under this, you have to answer the question, what strategy can you use to solve the problem? If you answered solve for the percentage, that's right. We are going to find 30% of 12,000 volunteers who were not able to vote. Then, think, what is the formula in finding the percentage? Can you tell? The formula in finding the percentage is P equals R times B. Where P is the percentage, R is the rate, and B is the base, or percentage equals rate times base. We are now ready to proceed to step number 3. Step 3, solve. To find the answer, N is 30% of 12,000. Remember, N will represent the unknown, which is the percentage. Where 30% is the rate, 12,000 is the base, and N is the percentage. But we should change the rate first to decimal before we apply the formula. 30% changed to decimal is 0.30 or 30 hundredths. Then we will use the formula P equals R times B. Substitute R with the given, which is 0.30 or 30 hundredths, and B with the given, which is 12,000. P is equal to 0.30 times 12,000. Multiply 0.30 by 12,000. The product will be 3,600. P is now equal to 3,600. Therefore, 30% of 12,000 is 3,600. Are we done? Not yet. Step number 4, to check if your answer is correct. Using Tetchen's triangle, plug in all the values, then verify if the values correspond to each other. To check, using the formula in finding rate, which is R is equal to P divided by B, substitute P to 3,600 and B to 12,000. 3,600 divided by 12,000 is 0.30. What is 0.30 in percent? Yes, you are correct if your answer is 30%. Therefore, our final answer is correct. 3,600 volunteers were not able to vote. Can you follow grade 5 learners? If your answer is yes, that's great. We are now moving on to example number 2, which is a non-routine problem. In Mrs. Bondok's class, she was sad because 75% of her pupils failed in the exam, and only 10 of her students passed. How many pupils does she have in class? Step number 1, understand what is asked in the problem. If your answer is the total number of pupils Mrs. Bondok has in her class, you are correct. Next, what are the given facts? If your answer is 75% of her pupils failed and only 10 pupils passed in the test, you are right. What is the hidden question, if there is any? Yes, there is. Then, what is the hidden question? If your answer is, the hidden question is the rate of the number of pupils who passed, you are very good. Step number 2, make a plan. What strategy can you use to solve the problem? The total number of pupils is asked, so the base is unknown. We will solve this problem using a bar model. Note that 75% is the rate of pupils who failed in the test. This does not correspond to 10, which is the number of pupils who passed. We have to identify the rate of the pupils who passed the test so we can use it in solving for the base. If 75% failed, this means that the rate of the pupils who pass is 25% to make up the entire 100%. So, the number sentence is 10 is to 25% of n, where 10 is the percentage, which is the number of pupils who passed, 25% is the rate of pupils who passed, and n is the base or the unknown or the total number of pupils she has in her class. Step number 3, solve. To find the answer, let us use yellow bar to represent our base, which is 100%. The red bar represents the rate of pupils who failed, and the blue represents the rate of pupils who passed. We can divide the red bar into 3, since 75% is equivalent to 3 parts with 25% each. Since 25% is the rate pupils who pass, is equivalent to 10, which is the percentage. Therefore, each part of the red bar that represents the rate of pupils who failed is also 10. So, the percentage of pupils who failed is 30. Add it to the percentage of pupils who passed, which is 10. The total is 40. The total number of pupils is 40. Hence, 10 is 25% of 40. Are we done? Not yet. Step number 4, to check if your answer is correct. Again, using Tetchan's triangle, plug in all the values. Then verify if the values correspond to each other. To check, using the formula in finding percentage, which is P is equal to R times B, substitute R to 25% or 0.25 and B to 40. 0.25 multiplied by 40 is 10, which is the value of P in the Tetchan's triangle. Therefore, our final answer is correct. Mrs. Bondoc has 40 pupils in her class. How are you getting along, grade 5 learners? I hope you can follow the steps in solving word problems now. Let us move on to example number 3. Let us read the word problem together. Harry collects limited edition cards from a popular coffee shop. 20 of his cards were traded from his friends in other countries, while the rest are from the Philippines. If he has 80 cards in his album, what percent of his cards are bought from the Philippines? Step 1. Understand what is asked in the problem. If your answer is the percent of Harry's cards that are bought from the Philippines, you are right. Next question will be, what are the given facts? Harry has a total of 80 cards. 20 cards are from other countries. What is the hidden question, if there is? Yes, there is. Then, what is the hidden question? If your answer is how many cards Harry bought from the Philippines, you are very good. Step number 2, make a plan. What strategy can you use to solve the problem? Since the rate of cards bought from the Philippines is asked, we have to know the percentage of cards from the Philippines. Thus, if 20 are from other countries, and there are a total of 80 cards, Harry must have 60 cards that are bought from the Philippines. So, the number sentence is 60. Is what percent of 80? Where 60 is the percentage, which is number of cards Harry bought in the Philippines. 80 is the base or the total number of cards Harry has, and N is the rate. Then think, what is the formula in finding the rate? Can you tell? The formula in finding the rate is R is equal to P divided by B. We are now ready to proceed to step number 3. Step number 3, solve. To find the answer, 60 is n% of 80. We will use the formula R is equal to P divided by B. Substitute P with the given, which is 60, and B with the given, which is 80. R is equal to 60 divided by 80. Divide 60 by 80 is equal to 0.75. To change 0.75 to percent, multiply it by 100 and the product is now 75. R is now equal to 75%. Hence, 60 is 75% of 80. Are we done? Not yet. Step number 4, to check if your answer is correct, using Tetchan's triangle, plug in all the values, then verify if the values correspond to each other. To check, using the formula in finding percentage, which is P is equal to R times B, substitute R to 75% or 0.75 and B to 80. 0.75 multiplied by 80 is equal to 60, which is the value of P in the Tetchan's triangle. Therefore, our final answer is correct. 75% of Harry's cards are bought from the Philippines. You have learned how to solve routine and non-routine word problems involving percentage. To our grade 5 pupils, I admire you for being good listeners. Now let's have a recap. What are the steps in solving word problems? What is the acronym? Yes, UPSC. Understand, plan, solve, and check. Again, here are the steps. Step 1, understand. What is asked in the problem? What are the given facts? What is the hidden question, if there is any? Step number 2, make a plan. What strategy can you use to solve the problem? What is the formula? Next is step number 3, solve. And finally, step number 4, check your answer. Well done, grade 5 learners. So, we were able to apply our understanding on solving routine and non-routine word problems involving percentage. Let us put that understanding to the test by answering the next activity, and that will be your assigned task to do. Turn your 21st Century Mathlete 5 on page 204, or the activity under Quarter 3, Week 2. Under Evaluate A, there are 5 word problems presented. There are 6 guide questions that will help you arrive with the correct answer. These are: A. What is asked in the problem? B. What are the given facts? C. What is the hidden question, if there is any? D. What strategy can you use to solve the problem? E. What is the formula? And finally, F. Solve and check your answer. Here are the word problems for your activity. Write your answer on your math notebook. Problem number 1. If Justin scored 75% on a 20 points test, how many points did he miss? How many points would he earn if he scored a 90%? Problem number 2. I have collected 10 cans of food. I am 50% complete with my final goal. How many cans do I want to collect? Problem number 3. I am saving my money for a 750 pesos video game. If I have saved 25% of the money I need, how much money have I saved? Problem number 4. May ran a race. She paused for water 25% of the way through the race. She stopped to tie her shoe 40% of the way. Her friends were cheering her 90% of the way through the race. Draw a diagram to show where these events took place. For problem number 5, a group of female senior citizens goes to a park to join the Zumba dance class for exercise. 16% exercise for 3 to 4 hours per week, 23% exercise for 2 to 3 hours per week, 25% for 1 to 2 hours per week, 36% exercise for 0 to 1 hour per week. What amount of time spent exercising has the least percentage of female senior citizens? There you have it, grade 5 learners. Congratulations, you did a great job today. I hope you learned a lot today. This is Teacher Carmela M. Santos, your Mathematics 5 teacher. Special thanks to Sir Rheymar B. Pedroche for the PowerPoint presentation and the script. Until next time!